Yo, what is up, big baby boys of the internet? Spearmint here. Welcome back to basically another one of my videos. Ultra Beast guys, you love them, you hate them, you think they're cool, you think they're ugly as hell, you think that they're the second coming of Christ, or you might think they're the spawn of Satan. But no matter what you say, guys, the one thing that will always be true is that they change the competitive scene in Pokemon for better or for worse. I mean, they're fun and all, but they're also a pain in the ass. I don't know about you, kinda really depends on your playstyle. But today, guys, I'm gonna be rating the Ultra Beast from best to worst competitive wise. I'll also give in my experiences playing with them and some sets I usually run while using these Ultra Beasts if I've ever used them. And note, this list will be based on my own opinion, so if you disagree with anything I say in the video, then make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Also, I'm going to be listing off Pokemon with the Beast Boost ability, so Cosmog and Necrozma, fuck off. I'll also be leaving out Formosa and Naganadel due to them already being in Ubers. Fuck my life. And with Naganadel, I'll also be leaving out Poipole for the obvious reason, because let's be real here, I don't see Eviolite Poipole ever being a thing anytime soon. Well, unless you're a damn furry. And with that out of the way, guys, let's get right into the video. Now, to any person playing competitive at the moment, it's clear that the top spot for the best UB has to go to Celesteela. I mean, just look at those stats. Bump up that HP and defense, give this thing a leftovers, throw a Leech Seed, and toss Protect, and slap on a Heavy Slam, and you got one of the best tanks that Pokemon has ever seen. And don't even get me started on how cum-worthy his shiny form is. Now, the set that I usually run on this monster is pretty basic. I mean, unless you're a little fruit, then you can always go with the Blacephalon set. But I usually switch it up from a normal defensive tank to a cunty leech. Overall, this is worthy of the top spot in this Ultra Beast list. Now for the second up, we have Kartana, probably one of the best sweepers in Pokemon history. And for a Pokemon with high attack stats and high speed, he has pretty decent defense stats as well. So if you're too greedy to switch his ass out when the time calls for it, you can let this thing have the Samurai's Death that it always wanted, while also giving in a few fair trades. Now the set that I usually run on Kartana is just a regular classic Scarf set. You know, the basic stuff. Sacred Sword, Night Slash, Leaf Blade, and Smart Strike. Pretty simple stuff, and since he has Beast Boost, each hit gets harder than the last. But overall, this guy is awesome. He's fast as fuck, he's resilient, and he's strong, and a really scary Pokemon to face off in battle. Now, putting him below Celesteela doesn't mean that I think he is inferior, you just can't take a flamethrower to the face. Let's be real here. Now, for some of you guys, you might disagree, but I think Nihilego is a very adaptable Ultra Beast. Don't get me wrong, if this thing ever gets a low kick to the face, it'll probably just shatter into a million glass pieces, but those special attack sets are just cum-worthy. Now, like I said before, this UB is very adaptable as all hell. You can run a special tank, a straight-up speedy fairy killer Henticle monster set, or setup set. You know, either or. I usually go for either a special tank or a setup set, due to the fact that this thing is fast as fuck. I'm fast as fuck, boy! And that's big special defense set. My god. But other than that, that's all this Pokemon really has going for it. Not bad of an Ultra Beast, but not as godly as the other two. Xurkitree is one of those Pokemon that you can just really have fun with. Granted, there are only two sets that you can possibly run on this thing, and the defensive stat aren't that great. Not too special at all whatsoever. But just looking at that special attack stat, guys, my god. But the two sets I usually see people run on Xurkitree is a Choice Scarf set, but I usually go for a Z Hypnosis set. Thank you, credits to Smogon. Hypnosis, Tail Glow, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, and then you slap a Psycheem Z on it, and you get one of the most bitch Pokemon to face in a match ever. First turn, set up Z Hypnosis, get the speed boost, possibly put your opponent to sleep, and if you miss, you can always go again. Turn 2, Tail Glow, get that fucking special attack boost, it's just crazy. And turn 3, kill everyone. Overall, Xurkitree is probably one of my favorite Pokemon to run on a team, only due to the fact that his set is just pure troll, really. This thing is just super fun to play with. Buzzwole, I don't really have much to say other than that it's a very Very excellent physical tank. I mean, the only time I face it is usually with Kenny, but other than that, this Pokemon is a beast. Not to mention, it has access to Stone Edge, Earthquake, Lunge, Leech Life, and Toxic. Now, the set that I usually run in it, I usually run an Ice Punch, a Poison Jab, a Roost, and Hammer Arm. Now, these moves just, in my opinion, it makes it a pretty good, well-rounded Pokemon. Blacephalon is a pretty new Ultra Beast. I'm not sure how people would usually play this thing. Stat and type-wise, it's basically a faster and stronger Chandelure without the Flash Fire. And just like Chandelure, it is a revenge killer. And those stats are just beautiful. Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, you could run a straight-up special set on it, but Smogon recommends the Trick Scarf set. Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, and Trick. Which, in my opinion, is very fitting, seeing that this thing is a clown, and running this set is pretty fun. If you end up not even using Trick, you'll just end up with a really good sweeper. Like, you never lose! I'm not saying that you shouldn't run Chandelure, but if you really prioritize power over utility, I probably would recommend Blacephalon likewise. This thing is just way better in that regard than fucking Chandelure. Now, when this thing first came out, it was pretty obvious that Stakataka was going to be the tankiest motherfucker in existence. And to add on to it being tanky as fuck, it's also really slow. Well, because it's a literal wall. That's not even a joke. Like, this thing really lives up to the design and title. Like, whoever at Game Freak came up with the idea of making a wall Pokemon, props to you. Seriously. Because now I can finally make my Trump team. Oh! All political jokes aside, guys, this thing has monstrous defense. 211 base defense. Now that right there, my baby boys, is truly come-worthy. Paired with that base 131 attack set, now this thing really puts the beast in Ultra Beast. Now, but with those delicious stats, we always have to come to some cons. This Pokemon is indeed slow as fuck. I mean, what should you be so surprised about? It's a goddamn wall. It's a fucking wall. It also has 2 4x weaknesses, so yeah, 2 very common types, might I add. And that mediocre special defense, but to be honest, who fucking cares at this point? But honestly, I'm really glad that they made him super slow, because finally, you can run a Trick Room set on this thing, and this thing is just freaking crazy. Trick Room for obvious reasons, Gyro Ball for obvious reasons, Stone Edge, Earthquake, or Superpower. But let's face it, what is there left to reduce at that point? When running a Trick Room set, this thing is a damn monster. It's just so fun to sweep an entire team with a fucking wall, and the most damage they'll even deal back is like the equivalent of tickling its fucking nipples. And to add on to that, you can also run this thing in a setup set. This thing has Stealth Rocks and Light Screen and Reflect, so you have your options there, but just 2 options, which is not that much. But the reason it's so low is because it is weak to both fighting and ground types, 2 very common types like I said earlier, and literally everyone and their mom in the competitive scene runs a Pokemon with Earthquake or something, or they run a fighting type due to its versatility. Like really, I know that the defense stat is fucking huge, but even with max defense, this thing can't take an Earthquake to the face. Let's be real here. Is it even a surprise that this little piece of shit is on the bottom? Now, Guzzlord is probably one of those Pokemon on the list that I have nothing good to say about it. I mean, the health stat is pretty good, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna have big health, why make his defense stat so fucking trash? What's the point of making massive health without massive defense? I mean, at least with Buzzwole and Stakataka, at least they can tank in some hits without ending up in half health, and the speed stat isn't even that fucking good. Like, really? Was the cost of HP really worth the mediocre attack stat, the lackluster defense value, the shitty speed? At least with Stakataka, he got Trick Room, and his attack stat was through the roof. With this, he's just big. That's it. There's nothing good about it. That's all. But that, guys, is all I have time for today. If you guys liked the video, then make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And let's end this off with a question. Which is your favorite Ultra Beast? Mine would have to really go for Xurkitree because, let's face it, this thing is just freaking crazy. Look at this thing dance. It's cute. I love it. And if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. It helps the channel so much. And that'll be all for today, guys. I'll see you big baby boys later. Salute, peace, power to you. Bye.